Welcome to my YouTube channel, Soul Velocity. Today we're diving deep into a topic that will separate your habits from your destiny. The title is Dream Big, and I've broken this journey down into 10 powerful parts, each one built to challenge, stretch, and grow you. So buckle up, let's begin with part 1. The permission to dream. Why you deserve a bigger vision. Before you ever build a dream, you have to believe you deserve one. Most people don't fail because they don't work hard. They fail because they shrink their vision before it ever has the chance to live. Steve Harvey said it loud and clear. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. But what if you've never allowed yourself to see it? What if the world taught you to lower your head, settle for less, play it safe, and never ask for more than what fits in the box you were born into? Dreaming big isn't a privilege, it's a responsibility. Because when you dream big, you don't just rewrite your life. You rewrite the legacy of everyone who ever told themselves they couldn't. Dreams don't belong to the wealthy, they don't belong to the connected, they belong to the courageous. To the ones who say, I don't know how, but I refuse to settle for less than what God put in me. Your vision doesn't need permission from your past, it needs a decision from your present. And maybe your life hasn't looked like success yet. Maybe you've been surrounded by small minds and tiny goals. But none of that cancels your right to imagine something massive. Because a big dream is not arrogance, it's alignment. It's the whisper of your potential, asking for air. It's your calling, knocking on the walls of your excuses. Every great story starts with someone who didn't make sense on paper. Steve Harvey didn't have a perfect plan. He had a dream big enough to wake him up when he wanted to quit. A dream that made sleeping on the floor worth it. A dream that made rejection irrelevant. If you've been waiting for a sign to believe in your future, this is it. Say it with me. I give myself permission to dream. I am not too late. I am not too small. I am the beginning of something greater than I've ever seen. Because when you start thinking beyond your limits, you stop living beneath your potential. And don't wait until it feels safe to dream. Dream while you're scared. Dream while you're tired. Dream while you're doubting. Because the dream itself, that's the seed. And even in darkness, seeds grow. This is the part where you stop asking if you're worthy and you start acting like you were born for more, because you were. And if no one around you is dreaming big, then let it start with you. Let your belief be the spark. Let your imagination be the blueprint. Let your decision be the doorway. Because the moment you choose to dream big, you stop repeating life and start redesigning it. Part 2, the courage to begin, starting before you're ready. The biggest enemy of a big dream isn't failure, it's delay. And most delay doesn't come from laziness, it comes from fear. From waiting until we feel perfectly prepared before we take the first step. Steve Harvey says, you'll never be 100% ready, you just have to jump. And that's the truth. No one wants to say out loud, you won't feel ready when the opportunity shows up. You won't have all the answers when the door cracks open. And the longer you wait for clarity, the more you convince yourself you're not capable. You don't need to see the entire staircase. You need to take the first step. Big dreams demand movement, not perfection, because waiting for perfect conditions is the fastest way to kill momentum. Ask yourself, how many ideas have I buried because I thought I needed more time? How many visions have I paused because I wasn't confident yet? But confidence isn't a prerequisite. It's a byproduct of courage. And courage means moving in the presence of fear, not the absence of it. Steve didn't wait until he had a safety net. He walked on faith. He made mistakes, but he moved, and every step made the next one possible. There are dreams inside you that don't need more planning. They need action. They need you to make the call, write the line, open the door, start the business, say yes, take the leap. Because while you wait, life doesn't. And every delay you justify is one more day you spend as a spectator in your own story. Here's what you need to know. The fear won't vanish. The doubt won't disappear. But your decision can overpower them both. Say it with me. I begin before I feel ready. My courage is stronger than my fear. My future won't wait, and neither will I. This is your moment, not to finish, not to figure it all out, but to start. Because starting is sacred. Starting is how you tell your dream, I'm coming. Starting is how you prove to the world and yourself that you're serious. So take the step, even if it's shaky, even if it's small, because one step turns into rhythm, and rhythm becomes reality. You don't need to feel brave. You need to move like you already are. Next, part 3, defining the dream. Get clear, get specific, get real. Part 3, defining the dream. Get clear, get specific, get real. You can't chase what you haven't named. A lot of people say they want a better life, more success, or financial freedom. But vague dreams produce vague results. Steve Harvey says, your imagination is a preview of life's coming attractions. But even a preview needs focus. You have to know what you're building. Not just a house, the blueprint. Not just a life, the vision. Not just a dream, the details. Because if your dream isn't clear, how can you fight for it? If your goal is blurry, how can you stay committed when it gets hard? Clarity is power. And the most dangerous person in the room is the one who knows exactly what they want. So ask yourself, what does my dream really look like? Not just the income, but the lifestyle. Not just the recognition, but the purpose. Not just the result, but the impact. Your dream needs to be so specific that it pulls you out of bed. It needs to be so vivid that it overrides your fear. It needs to be so personal that no one else's opinion can touch it. This isn't just about dreaming big. It's about owning your vision. Steve Harvey didn't just say he wanted to be on TV. He imagined his name being called. He saw himself speaking to millions, and that clarity became his compass. When you define your dream, everything starts aligning. Your decisions sharpen. Your distractions fade. Your energy focuses. So sit with it. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Define what big means to you, because you can't hit a target you haven't set. Say it with me. I get clear about my dream. I name it, claim it, and shape my life around it. I am not random. I am intentional. The world won't define your dream for you. It will try to shrink it. So you must define it clearly, boldly, and unapologetically. This is not about being reasonable. This is about being real with your desire. You can't build what you're afraid to imagine, and you can't protect what you haven't named. Define the dream, then protect it with your whole life. Part 4, facing resistance. What to do when the world pushes back. The moment you start dreaming big, life pushes back. That's not a sign you're wrong, it's proof you're moving. You'll feel it from people who don't understand your vision. You'll feel it from inside your own doubts. You'll feel it in the silence after you take the leap. But resistance isn't the enemy, it's the evidence that growth is happening. Steve Harvey says, your setback is just a setup for a comeback. And resistance, that's the gym for your belief system. It's where your mindset either folds or strengthens. So what do you do when the world pushes back? You stop expecting it to be easy, because dreams worth having aren't handed over. They're earned through pressure. You stop begging for support from people who were never assigned to your destiny, because some people are in your life for comfort, not growth. And most importantly, you stop making the pushback mean something about your worth. Resistance doesn't mean you're unworthy. It means you're worthy enough to scare small thinking. You have to get good at hearing no and still moving forward. You have to get used to silence and keep speaking your vision. You have to learn that storms don't mean stop, they mean stretch. Every great dreamer faced resistance. Steve slept in a car. He bombed on stages. He got laughed at. But he didn't quit, because his belief was bigger than his setbacks. Say it with me. I don't back down when life pushes. I stand up taller. My dream is bigger than my fear, and my commitment is louder than my doubt. Let resistance teach you. Let it refine you. Let it build you. Because on the other side of resistance is resilience, and on the other side of resilience is reality. Your dream doesn't need you to be untouched. It needs you to be unshaken. So when the world pushes, you push back harder. Not with anger, with action. Not with excuses, with execution. Because every pushback you overcome becomes a brick in the foundation of your future. Part 5, the power of repetition. How daily effort builds the unseen dream. Big dreams are not built in big moments. They are built in small, consistent, unseen repetitions. You won't see the result the first day or the 5th, or maybe even the 50th. But that's not a sign to quit, that's the test of your commitment. Steve Harvey says you have to keep grinding even when no one is watching, because success is built in the dark. What separates the dreamers from the finishers is what they do daily, not once in a while. Not when it feels good, but every single day, no matter what. Repetition is where mastery lives. It's where belief becomes behavior. It's where potential becomes real. You don't get to greatness through one giant step. You get there through one faithful focus step, repeated over and over again. Every great speech, every big business, every transformation was built in private before it ever exploded in public. But this generation is addicted to immediate, to quick lights, fast growth, and overnight success. And that mindset is poison to a big dream, because big dreams don't happen in a rush. They happen in rhythm. They happen in discipline. They happen when no one's clapping, but you're still showing up. So ask yourself, what am I repeating? Is it aligned with where I want to go, or am I repeating what's familiar, even if it's destroying my future? Steve Harvey didn't arrive because of luck. He repeated the work. He repeated the faith. He repeated the reps no one ever saw. Say it with me. I am consistent. I am committed. I trust the process even when I don't see the progress. The world only celebrates what it can measure, but the biggest changes are invisible. At first, every word you write, every workout, every early morning, every time you choose discipline over distraction, it's building something. You just don't see it yet. But one day the world will call it overnight success, and you'll smile, because you'll know the truth. It wasn't a moment. It was a mindset. It was repetition. It was faith in motion. Part 6, the inner critic. Overcoming the voice that tells you you're not enough. There is a voice that doesn't want you to dream big. And it doesn't live outside, it lives inside. It's the whisper that says you failed too much. It's the memory that replays your worst mistakes. It's the doubt that shows up louder than your vision. Steve Harvey says, don't let the enemy inside your head be louder than the God who created your purpose. The real battle of a big dream isn't against circumstances, it's against your inner narrative. Because no matter how beautiful your dream is, if your mind says you can't, your life will obey. You gotta start talking back. You gotta stop agreeing with the lies. You've gotta interrupt the thoughts that shrink your identity. The inner critic is not truth, it's old programming. It's the residue of environments that didn't believe in you. It's the leftovers of a past that no longer fit your future. And you are not obligated to think the same thoughts forever. You get to choose. You get to rebuild. You get to replace shame with strength and doubt with decision. So how do you quiet the inner critic? Not by ignoring it, but by overriding it. One, override it with affirmations rooted in reality. Two, override it with action that contradicts the lie. Override it with a tribe that speaks faith when your fear is loud. Steve didn't silence his inner critic by waiting for it to go away. He drowned it out with purpose, with focus, with movement. And so will you. Say it with me. I am not the voice of fear. I am the voice of future. My past may speak, but my purpose speaks louder. Don't wait to feel worthy. Act like you already are. Because your dream isn't waiting for a perfect version of you. It's waiting for the real version, the one who's willing to show up in the middle of the noise and still choose belief. This is the shift from self-doubt to self-trust, from hesitation to ownership, from inner critic to inner coach. You've heard the lie for long enough. Now it's time to believe the truth. You are more than enough for the dream you carry. Part 7, fueling faith, believing without seeing, trusting without knowing. Faith isn't a feeling. It's not goosebumps. It's not hype. It's not a moment on Sunday. Faith is what you stand on when nothing else is solid. Steve Harvey said it best. Faith is the belief in things you cannot see. And in this life, the people who win the longest aren't the ones who know everything. They're the ones who believe anyway. Believe when it's dark. Believe when it's lonely. Believe when there's no applause, because that's the muscle, that's the fire. That's the difference between giving up and growing through. Most people wait for proof. Faith moves with vision. See, when you believe in your calling before the crowd does, you develop a different kind of strength, one that can't be broken by silence, one that doesn't shake when people doubt you, one that says, God said it, that's enough for me. You got to fuel that faith like it's oxygen. So how do you do that? 1, speak the vision daily. Say it out loud. Make it real. Your words create your world. 2, surround yourself with faithful energy. Don't just hang with positive people. Hang with faith-driven people. People who stretch your belief, not your fear. 3, move even when it doesn't make sense. Don't wait to understand it fully. Faith isn't clarity, it's obedience. 4, look back at what didn't break you. You've survived too much to start doubting now. Faith isn't about perfection, it's about movement. It's about saying, I don't have it all figured out, but I trust the next step. Steve Harvey didn't see the stage when he was sleeping in his car, but he kept believing, he kept preparing, he kept praying like he already had it. That's faith, that's power, that's your next level. Say it with me. I walk in faith, not fear. I move from vision, not validation. I trust what's unseen more than what's uncertain, because sometimes your eyes will lie to you, but your belief, that's the real sight. And once your faith leads, your future follows. Part 8, daily identity, becoming the person your dreams require. Dreams are not just about what you do, they're about who you become. You can't just want a different life, you have to build a different identity. Steve Harvey says you have to act like you're already the person you're trying to become. Every action you take is a vote for the person you believe you are. So if your actions don't match your dream, your identity won't support your destiny. You have to wake up every day and make decisions like the person your dream requires, not the person your past created, not the person your environment shape, but the person your future needs. Big dreams require big alignment. You can't think small and expect to live large. You can't walk in fear and expect to lead in purpose. You can't rehearse old habits and expect new outcomes. So who is the version of you that already has the dream? How do they speak? How do they carry themselves? How do they treat their body, their time, their people? Then ask, what can I do today that brings me closer to that version? Because your dream is attracted to the identity that's prepared to receive it. Steve Harvey didn't wait until he made it to act like a man of purpose. He carried himself like he belonged before the world agreed. Say it with me. I act from my future, not my fear. I live today like the person I'm becoming. I align my identity with my destiny. Every single morning, you are voting for a version of yourself. You can either reinforce the old story or you can write a new one. The dream doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for authentic alignment. It asks for decisions that match vision. It asks for courage to act like you're already there, even when no one sees it yet. Because the version of you who's living the dream, they're not waiting. They're showing up. They're making the call. They're walking with confidence that hasn't even been validated yet. That's who you become. And that's when the dream becomes reality. Part 9, Vision versus distraction. How to stay focused in a loud world. Your dream has competition, and it's not other people. It's distraction. It's noise. It's the thousands of things pulling your attention every second away from the one thing that matters. Steve Harvey says, don't let distractions rob you of your destiny, because the world doesn't need your permission to pull you in every direction. It only needs your attention. And if you give your focus to everything, you'll build nothing. Distraction is not always evil. Sometimes it looks good. Sometimes it looks urgent. Sometimes it even looks successful. But distraction isn't about what's bad. It's about what's not aligned. Every yes to the wrong thing is a no to your dream. You've got to protect your focus like it's sacred, because it is. Focus builds momentum. Momentum builds consistency. Consistency builds destiny. Ask yourself, what's stealing my energy that's not aligned with my dream? Who's getting my time but not helping me grow? What's keeping me busy but not making me better? The difference between dreamers and achievers isn't talent. It's the power to say no. No to distraction. No to drama. No to doing what everyone else is doing just because it's popular. Focus is how you prove you're serious. Focus is how you show respect to your calling. Steve didn't build his legacy chasing everything that glittered. He chose his lane. He stayed with it. He mastered it. Say it with me. I protect my focus. I choose what matters. I say no to what's good so I can say yes to what's great. Because this world will always give you noise, but your dream deserves your value. This world will always give you options, but your future needs your direction. So log out, turn off, walk away, sit with your vision. Let it get loud again. Let it interrupt your excuses. Let it take back its rightful place in your priorities. Because the only thing standing between you and your dream isn't talent, it's focus. And today, you choose to take it back. Part 10, legacy over lights. Building a dream that lasts beyond you. The final step in dreaming big is dreaming beyond yourself. Because the dream isn't just about the car, the house, the applause. It's about the lives changed by the fact that you refuse to quit. Steve Harvey says, your career is what you're paid for. Your calling is what you're made for. And your dream, if it's real, it's connected to your calling. A big dream doesn't just elevate your life. It becomes a map for others, a signal to your kids, a blueprint for your community. Because people don't follow perfection, they follow permission. When they see you rise, they believe they can too. So what do you want to leave behind? Not just money, not just memories, but meaning. Your dream becomes your legacy when it impacts someone else's belief. Every word you say, every decision you make, every step you take, it's writing a story. And one day, someone will read your life and find their own courage. But too many people trade purpose for popularity. They chase likes but lose themselves. Let that not be you. You weren't made for applause. You were made for impact. You weren't made for followers. You were made for freedom. You weren't made to fit in. You were made to wake people up. Say it with me. I choose legacy over likes. I choose calling over clout. My dream will live louder than my fear. You are not just building something for now. You are planting something for forever. Let every action reflect that. Let every word reflect that. Let your dream echo long after you're gone. Steve Harvey didn't just become famous. He became a voice of faith, a symbol of struggle that overcame, a man who turned pain into platform. And so can you. Because your dream at its highest level is not about you. It's about what flows through you. Your dream can heal generations. Your dream can rewrite history. Your dream can set people free. But only if you keep going. Only if you stay rooted. Only if you understand. The real reward is not the trophy, it's the trail. You are not just building a life, you are building a legacy. And the world is waiting. Thank you for walking this entire journey with me. If this message stirred something in you, if it woke up even a piece of your dream, then it's already doing its work. Subscribe, share. Come back to this whenever you forget who you are. Because this channel isn't just content, it's your reminder. You were born for something big. And remember, don't stop dreaming. Dream big.